It is May 27th. It's Michael Vaughan in the backyard and at least 6 feet away from Lee Barker, president of Sparton Resources. Lee, I haven't seen you since the shutdown, but you've been busy. And let's start with the activities on the old Oaks properties near Matachewan.
Well, we have been busy, Mike, and it's good to be back. We did a press release today updating our supporters of what's going on with our exploration programs. And at Matachewan, we've begun a consultation process with the First Nations, the local First Nations in Matachewan.
You've got to do that.
Absolutely. We have to do that to get our exploration permits from the Ontario government. And we began that process about a month ago. It's going very well, and we're looking forward to having something approved or at least available to get the exploration permits granted to us.
Well, you've been all over the north for years. You should probably have good relations there.
Yeah, well, I do, Mike. I mean, I know many people already that we're dealing with. I have had relatives living in Aboriginal communities most of my life and visited them, so I'm not unfamiliar or uncomfortable with this process.
So when do you think you can get in there and start some exploration?
Well, we still have the Ontario government actually today extending the lockdown till the 9th of June.
Oh, I didn't realize.
For all the various things that are going on. Field work in the north is a little different. I think we can probably get something, once we get our permits, of course, from the government, we can begin something before the end of June. And
that'd be good.
We have plans to do both a magnetic survey over our entire claim group, which of course is much larger now, and then do detailed work around the Oaks leases themselves.
What kind of budget do you have in mind? Did you have to go out and raise millions to do this?
No, we're looking at about $350,000 or $400,000 for this program. Most of it will be tied up with drilling around the Oaks leases, the drill holes that actually Mr. Oaks supported in the 1930s, and we're very positive. And that will give us an indication of the potential of the property.
Has the word leaked out yet in Kirkland Lake? I mean, Harry Oakes took billions of dollars out of that place, and you've got the claim he didn't. He left the country before he developed it.
Well, that's correct. No, it hasn't, and we're looking forward when we start our head-to-head meetings with the First Nations people to go with the local press in both Timmins and Kirkland Lake and show them what we're up to, and maybe have some coverage by them to give them a story other than COVID-19.
Sure. All right. Now let's go to Quebec and your property there, which Eldorado has taken on. What's going on?
Yes, we've got news from Eldorado now that they're planning a two-stage program initially to do a detailed magnetic survey over the entire claim group. The existing data was only for the central part that we had available to us. Yeah. And they're going to use that because the magnetic survey is very important to identify the rock types that are mineralized. We're going to use that they're going to use that to do what they call a basal till sampling program using an excavator. They're going to take in trenches and dig down to the bedrock over these targets and get some geological information.
This summer?
Yes, that's planned this summer. And the scheduling of the magnetic survey, very hopeful it'll begin before the end of June.
I notice we're doing this planning with your input.
Well, we've had discussions with them on an ongoing basis about this, and you know the data that we provided them with, plus the interpretations, plus the visits we've had to look at the drill core and the mineralization, basically have reinforced the interpretation that this is a good way to go initially. It's systematic. It's not going to be a program where they go and drill a few holes around some things that we've already found. No. They really believe that because the project area and the claim block has so many gold showings on it, 3 old shafts from the 1930s, unevaluated stuff, that there's a system in there that is mineralized and they want to explore it properly.
Okay, one last question. You won't like it. Where's the stock today?
Well, we're trading around 3 cents, very low volume.
I don't get it.
It's we haven't done a lot of promoting or advertising in the last little while, even though gold is very hot. But now that we've got are basically things in place to start doing work.
Well, you've got the Eldorado endorsement of your work in Quebec, and you've got this amazing story in Matachewan.
That's right, and so now we're going to get the story out that we can actually get on with doing something.
Okay, well, good to see you. I'll see you in a month or so. Get out there and beat the drum.
I'll look forward to it.